It's been a while since the launch of Vivo X200 Pro. I was one of the few who did not get the unit when it was first released, but I was able to secure myself with the Chinese variant of this phone running on Origin OS. At first, it was weird to use this phone because when I set it up, there's a lot of Chinese bloatwares that I thought would affect my experience, and also the fear of installing banking and social media apps, because who knows if there's any spywares because everything is on Chinese. The first thing I did is deleted all the Chinese bloatwares and set up my language to English, and everything went well after that. I didn't feel alienated anymore with the phone, and for anyone watching this video, I feel like that the global version of Vivo X200 Pro will be a better experience overall, but I know that the Chinese variant is probably cheaper, so that is something that you also need to consider. On my first few days of use, I was so happy with the camera performance. I was comparing this with the top-of-the-line flagship phones out there. If you will be revisiting my comparison videos, you will see Pixel 9 Pro XL, Samsung Galaxy S25, S24, and S23 Ultra, even iPhone 16 and 15 Pro Max. I mean, all those popular brands. I feel like the camera performance of Vivo X200 Pro is really good. I mean, people are commenting how good the Vivo X200 Ultra is, but I feel like in terms of price to performance, we cannot beat the value of X200 Pro, and if I'll be choosing between the Ultra or the Pro, I will be satisfied owning even the Pro. Also, people are commenting how beautified the images and trying to defend their purchase of those phones that provides natural-looking portraits. Most of my family members and friends are enjoying the look of the more beautified portraits of Vivo X200 Pro, especially this Chinese variant. I feel like it's more beautified compared to the global version, and that's a personal preference. I feel like the AI is aggressively beautifying the subject. Anyway, this is targeting the Asian consumers, which love to have those specific facial features. The phone is also strong on zoom and low light. I feel implementing a 3.7x telephoto that can zoom up to 100 times with 200 megapixel sensor is phenomenal. Vivo understood the assignment that if you zoom in, you must have a really good sensor with higher megapixel count, which some flagship phones do not have. Also, with the bigger main sensor, this phone is really good on low-light video recording and night shots. Honestly, if there's an event like dinner dates or family gathering at night, I tend to bring this phone even without a SIM card, just a plain camera, because I know it will perform really well on low-light situation, and this phone never failed me. Now, a month after enjoying the camera, I'm also beginning to love the snappiness and the overall performance of this phone. It doesn't use the most expensive and highly praised Snapdragon processor. This phone is running on the flagship MediaTek Dimensity 9400 with 32 gigs of RAM. This is a split between 16 gigs onboard and 16 gigs pulling from that 512 gigs of storage, which is really huge for me. You'll probably be paying extra $400 more for an iPhone that has 512 gigs of storage. I probably installed so many apps on this phone that I don't need just because of the huge storage. I'm always shooting on 4K and even 8K video just because I'm confident how big my storage capacity is. Day-to-day use on my third month is really good as I switch from iPhone 15 Pro Max as my gaming phone to Vivo X200 Pro, and the gaming experience didn't change. I'm still able to play games on the highest game settings. I'm not a Genshin Impact player, but I was able to test this and it's running smoothly on this phone. But one thing I love is the Mobile Legends, and I can play ultra graphics and ultra settings on that game. I can see all the cool details of the game and there's no lag even in long playing hours. And that brings me to the battery life. This is one of the strongest smartphones in terms of battery life. I can easily use this for 2 days if I'm not going to play games. It has 6,000 mAh battery, and that huge chunk of Li-ion powered battery is really helping with the overall performance of this phone. Also, adding that wireless charging capability and the additional 90 watts flash charge, I can fully charge this phone just over an hour. In comparison, I think I can compare this phone to Pixel 9 and Pixel 9 Pro XL. The new Pixel phones really have solid, if not the best battery life on any smartphones, and certainly I would put this phone in the same room as those Pixel phones. On my fourth month, even though I'm enjoying this phone because of the performance, battery, and camera, I'm not a fan of the edge screen. Although it makes the phone slimmer and feels more premium, but I'm having a hard time snapping a screen protector because I would either use a gel-based screen protector that usually tears off after a week of use. I'm always putting a case on this phone because I'm so afraid that if I drop this phone, it would easily crack. The design is really good and premium. I like that big camera module at the back with that Zeiss logo. I feel like this is one of the best looking smartphones today, and a lot of Chinese phones are actually going for a circular camera module, and Vivo X200 Pro is one of them. The edge of the screen is cancelling my accidental touches, which is really good, but with that glossy finish, this phone is so slippery, so I always tend to put a case and screen protector. On my 5th month, I was so happy with the OS updates I received from Vivo. I'm running on Origin OS 5, Android 15 base OS, and Vivo promised 4 major OS upgrade, so I'm good until Android 19. This is not as long as what Apple, Google, and Samsung is offering, which is 7 years, but 4 years is good enough for me to switch to other phones, and that gives the new owner peace of mind that the phone will still receive updates and further OS upgrades. Now, on my 6 months of using this phone, and I still prefer this over a lot of my flagship phones, it's one thing to be happy and satisfied, and another thing that people around you enjoys the camera phones you have. And in every occasion, they would ask me to shoot important events using my Vivo X200 Pro because they look good, and that's something that pleasures me. Vivo X200 Pro is a really solid phone. If you can find one on the used market so it's cheaper, then buy it. I feel like you would enjoy the performance, camera, and battery life, and even brag how it looks. If you will be asking me, should I buy Vivo X200 Pro over other flagship phones? It's a resounding yes.